didn't even recognize that.
I'd like to introduce one of our illustrious
That's Jeff Tucker.
show directors, Mr. Jeff Tucker,
Tucker.
your host.
Thank you, Bill. How are you? Happy Halloween, everybody!
Happy Halloween!
In 1987, I came into this theater to watch the Elvira show. I was 14, and it was the greatest thing I had ever seen up until that point. 30 years after that, 2017, I got to be on the creative team that wrote the final show that she did here at Not Scary Farm. It was, right? What a run! From 1982 to 2017, 35 years, what an amazing run. We're going to have a panel. We have some guests who are going to come out. We're going to do a Q&A. It's going to be fantastic. Thank you all for being here. Let's get rolling, shall we? All right, first I want to introduce Jim Coots, director and choreographer. He did Not Scary Farm, Elvira Show, Cinema Seance in 2013, Dance Macabre in 2016. We also did the 40th anniversary, very scary, very special Cancel Halloween music video, 13 Nights of Elvira in 2014, and Movie Macabre in 2010, and countless other film projects. There he is, right there. All right, thank you. Please welcome Michelle Capps, director and videographer for Not Scary Farm. She worked on 1991's Elvira Truth or Scare, Elvira's Dead, White, and Blue 1992, Elvira's Haunted House Party in 1998, Ghost Story Spectacular, Elvira's Shock and Rock Review. She was the director of marketing, and she's currently the president of Capps Marketing and Public Relations 2022. The president, Michelle, there she is. All right, please welcome Tom Benucci, show director and choreographer of the Elvira Show. He directed Elvira's Haunted House Party, Ghost Story Spectacular, Shock and Rock Review, Elvira at 20, Almost Legal, and Elvira's Cinema Seance. He's also worked on 1,000 other projects. And finally, please welcome Knott's very own Jeff Shattuck to the stage. There he is. He got his start here in 1992. He's worked on the Elvira Show as a costumer. He worked on props, sets, and he's done everything. And he works with Elvira all the time. It's a great panel, isn't it? Look at these great people. But that's not who you're here for. It is my pleasure, my honor, my privilege to welcome the Queen of Halloween, a legend and icon, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, Cassandra Peterson.
Oh, thank you, Jim. Some professionals up here.
Welcome, everybody. Cassandra Peterson, there she is, everybody. All right, so 1982, it all began right here. Your run at Not Scary Farm. What's it like to be back in the theater, in the round, right here?
It's weird. I mean, I love it. I love it. I miss it. I'm not kidding. It seems, I don't know, it's bizarre that I'm not jumping around shaking my ass. I'm just sitting here. I like it. I like it. This is a much easier show, I gotta tell you. Yeah, it's fun.
What was that first show like here? Well, how did you get Elvira from, Channel 9 Movie Macabre to Not Scary Farm?
Yeah, I don't know. The first show I remember pretty well, and I do not think there's video of it anywhere. I haven't seen the video. It was because I did this song, Ghouls Just Want to Have Fun. And I don't think that was on the video, was it? Anybody see that up there?
No.
Nope, see? And that was the very first show, and I remember it was really dorky. And I didn't know what I was doing, and nobody knew what they were doing, I don't think. I mean, well, you guys knew what you were doing. I didn't know what I was doing. But anyway, it was... I just didn't know if Elvira was going to translate from the little screen to a big stage, and it did eventually work out. Yeah.
Did it work, folks?
Yeah.
So you got that first show. What was it like? Was it immediate? Like, I want to come back the next year and the next year and the next year? Or was there some trepidation? Or was it like, yes, now we've got a thing here?
Oh no, it was like, it's working out. I want to come back and do it better and do it again, you know? So it just, I think, over the years kind of built bigger and bigger, got better and better. I think I went through about 1,000 different directors, choreographers, everybody. They've all lived a full life and then died. I'm still the only one here left. Well, you're still alive. You're one of the few. I did. I brought him back from the dead. But yeah, a lot of people, it took, just so you guys know, you have no idea how many people work on this show. You have no idea. It's such hard work and it takes so many weeks. We started in like the beginning of August, having meetings about what we're going to do and talking about what songs we're going to do and who's doing the set. And then there's people who build the sets, people who sew the costumes, people who do the choreography, and just a million and one other things. You have no idea what it takes, and for just a short time, you know. It's nice, like in Vegas, where they can do it all and it lasts a year or 2 or 3, you know. This lasts like, what, a few weeks. So,
I don't think
this amount of work.
I don't think people understand that back in 1982, Knott's Scary Farm began around the middle of October. It didn't start in September the way it does now.
It was really short, but we did a lot of shows back then. I did 4 shows a night. It was so hard. And you know what, I was just talking to Jeff here. We did the last show at midnight. I guess that was the latest? Yeah, sometimes 1 o'clock. And we finish up the show around 2. It'd be, you know, I'd get out of makeup around 3, get home around 4:30 in the morning, go to bed, wake up at 5, and drive back, which took 2 hours from Hollywood, and start again, you know. I think I saw daylight for about, you know, a couple months. Anyway, I don't think anybody did, no. It was like an all-nighter, but 4 shows, my God. Finally, I got it down to like 2 shows. That was awesome.
Yeah, 4 shows.
The improv on each show, progressively, the improv got better. By the 4th show, the improv was spectacular.
Yeah, well, by the very last show, which you didn't see, it got really fantastic. But it took about 34 years to get there.
20 plus shows. So, Tom, talk about the shows you directed. We can get Cassandra here to talk about those shows.
Oh my gosh, we were reminiscing earlier tonight, and I honestly don't remember the first year. But I do remember we had a lot of scantily clothed dancers on stage backing up Elvira. At one of the shows, we put them in a rain curtain. I think for the very first time, they were dancing in the rain. There was, you were living La Vida Loca, and you were, whatever song we were doing. I think one of my most favorite ones that I love was I'm Just a Sweet Elvira.
I love that one, doing the Rocky Horror, you know, doing the part of Tim Curry was like, oh, this is my dream. I have to tell you one funny story about the year we did La Vida Loca. I wore these chaps that have my butt cut out, okay? Yeah. So nothing on my butt, and my cousin came and brought his daughters, my little cousin, and she went to her mom and said, Mommy, does Elvira know her butt is showing? She was so upset, she was crying. She still talks about that. She's in her 30s and she still is like, oh, so embarrassing.
Now, Michelle, you did a lot of the video work for the shows over the years. Anything stand out there?
Lots of video. Go ahead. You'll never
Well,
shut
there was
me.
that one that we shot, I think it was the rehearsal for La Vida Loca, or the auditions. And we actually filmed in a room that was nothing but mirrors. And so to light in that awful room, and we had some really great cast of characters that came through.
Including my daughter.
Yes, and she had a little
was
tantrum.
4 years old then.
Yeah.
I think my daughter did a little singing number, and then she threw a little fit, a little
And
hissy
we
fit.
used it in the video. I don't know if it played tonight, but it's adorable.
I wish we had the video of that to show you guys, because she is so angry. She's singing La Vida Loca, and I tell her, okay, thank you, and she's going, you didn't let me finish. She goes and throws a giant Bit. And we have that clip somewhere. Somebody's got to pull that up somewhere and put it out because I still play that for her and embarrass her to death. It's awesome.
Any others, Michelle?
The Survivor one was probably the most elaborate one.
Survivor? Yeah. We did a Survivor parody. That was so funny. I just watched it the other day. Tom was the host of Survivor.
The phone call.
And it was perfect.
The phone call went like this. Ring, ring. Hey, Tom, it's Cassandra. Hey, Cassandra. Yeah, we're going to have rehearsal. We're going to do the shoot. She goes, yeah, you're going to do Jeff Probst. No, and I did.
No, he was suddenly an actor. Everybody was an actor. We got Lynn Stewart, who was Missy Bond from
It's on the screen right
Pee-wee's
now.
Playhouse.
Oh, there it
Oh,
is. Yeah.
there it is. Oh my God. Look, there's Lynn. She was super tough. Yeah, it was so embarrassing. This guy was naked. He had his, you know. we blurted out. Don't worry, everybody.
Remember the bass? Billy the Bass? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Went from
Billy
your
the Bass.
cleavage, yes.
Yep, out of the cleavage. And I remember having to rig that thing up to make it look like it jumped out of the girls.
Right.
And
Cleavage.
how are we going to do that? A little fishing line and pop it right out.
And we did all these videos like around the park. And there was a little lake over there.
All of
were
the
in
Survivor
bushes
video
in the
was
park.
actually shot across the street at the Lagoon, at the picnic center, where people have their weddings.
Oh, I was just going to say, Rob Perez, if you're listening, I wish you could, are you there? Is there any way to find that video of Sadie during the...
He's looking for it.
Okay, great. I wish you guys could see it because it's so hilarious. Okay, anyway, go ahead.
All right, and so, Jim, what did you work on? I'm going to pass the mic.
I came in and did some of the later videos in 2013 and 2017, but my best memory is when we did Cinema Seance 2013, and Elvira gets sucked into all these horror movies, so we had to recreate Blair Witch, Saw, Carrie, and having Knott as your backlot, and just able to, it was so cool. The Paranormal at the Hotel, right? We did Paranormal Activity. We did The Exorcist, where we had to blow vomit. I know there's a clip of some of that. I'm not sure if it's going to play. But
We totally trashed one of the rooms here at the Knott's Hotel.
your mother cut socks and
With like green vomit being thrown across the room.
Yeah, just getting that one shot of the vomit. Yeah.
Well, here's the behind the scenes of getting the vomit.
Wait, Harry.
Never before shown their footage of that's me holding the vomit cannon, and we're all dressed in
Why are we in a
plastic.
cult? What is the
Because that was the only thing we had to keep the splatter off of us.
And the camera's not covered at all.
No. We were more worried about ourselves. It looks like the Handmaid's Tale. And then it misfired the first time, and he almost had a heart
Yeah, it
attack,
didn't
the
work.
actor.
We just kept throwing vomiting. Poor guy. Oh, it's so much fun being an actor, isn't it? I was going to say about that shoot. We started at, I don't know, the crack,
It was early in the morning.
past crack of dawn, and
We ended up
to-
almost staying in the hotel. They're like, do you want to get rooms and stay, and we'll pick up in the mornings. We did it over the course of 2 or 3 days.
Yeah,
getting
it
all-
was honestly like I don't know, 18.
It was.
I love a long day.
It was 18. It was about 18 hours
Yeah.
because at one point I remember everybody saying we're starving. So I called the hotel GM and I'm like, we need food like now because it's 11 o'clock at night and we're still going to be going for a couple more hours. And they brought us this big Italian dinner. Remember?
Delicious.
It was at that time of night.
We
it
went on
was.
the chicken ride a couple of times during that
Yes,
shoot.
we've had. A lot of people don't know this.
Chicken. I call it the chicken ride here. If you have
Mrs. Knott's chicken.
dinner, it's the chicken ride.
It's the chicken ride. I get phone calls. Chicken ride? Okay.
Yeah, and it had a chicken ride name for some other reasons, but we won't go there. Okay.
Jeff, what did you start out doing here on the show? I think the first show I ever worked on, I actually just did some set dressing. And then later I moved to wardrobe. And that's when actually Cassandra and I started working together. We had some interesting cast of characters that were costuming the show. And I was lucky enough.
Jeff had black hair.
I did, and it's all gray, and I'm not going to say why it is gray. No. But we I did 3 or 4 of the shows here. Actually, the first one we mentioned, Living La Vida Loca, the water, that was the first time Knott had ever had dancers in the rain in a show. And it was a nightmare because their shoes kept falling apart. I was going out buying shoes. Tom's like, their shoes are falling apart. Okay.
Everybody's boots that they were wearing grew moss like
Yes.
that, mold.
Yes.
Because every night their shoes were soaking wet from the rain, and they had to put them on the next day, and it would start being like, ew.
And so I was buying new
Gross.
shoes for the show pretty much every week. It was a lot.
And
But it was-
Jeff was here so long, and my mom used to come out here all the time, and Jeff and my mom got married, and so he's actually my stepfather. Jeff, my mom always called Jeff, how's my husband? How's my husband doing?
I love your
So
mom, you
weird.
know that.
He did love my mom.
So I even went and had lunch with her.
He is my stepfather.
What you guys can't see is up here there's a grate, and way up top there are actual nozzles that the rain comes all the way down and then it recycles back up to the top. And they had in 1998 for the first time ever. They used to use it for like Christmas shows and during the ice show, it would fake rain and they would dance behind it and stuff. And then in '98,
There's where my butt's hanging out too.
those are the chaps. Look, there they are, the chaps.
Yeah.
Let's hear for the chaps.
Yeah.
But then the water would come down and then suddenly they'd get in the rain and dance. Which was, like they said, a nightmare for the costumes, for the shoes, but it looked amazing. And they'd never done it before. And Tom, was that your idea? I loved it.
Yeah, but he also told me they all had to be wearing pleather and leather and things like that. And I'm like, oh, what a crime. Really?
Yeah, leather does fantastic in the rain.
And you can't tell by the video, but the dancers, they would work with costume and makeup to decide what color hair they were in. They would come to rehearsal, and then opening night, a lot of dancers would have bleached blonde or white hair. That year, by the end of the run, it was green. Because whatever they were putting in the water, thank goodness, I think, made their hair green.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, why don't we, I got some questions from the audience. I'm going to read a couple questions here from the audience. All right, this is from Mike Mayfield from Fullerton, who says, Mike, you here? All right, Mike, we hate you. All right. What? Hey, Mike. So great. What prompted you to get into the horror genre? How'd you get into the horror genre, like hosting a horror show?
Well, I guess you better read my autobiography. Awesome. Okay. I started just being madly in love with horror when I was like in 2nd or 3rd grade. I went to see a horror movie. It was Vincent Price and House on Haunted Hill, and I never got over horror. I was just obsessed with it as a little kid. I was painting. My sisters were playing with Barbie and Ken, and I was playing with Frankenstein and Dracula. It was really weird. And this is like in the 50s, okay? And I don't know, I became obsessed with horror, and ever since I was a kid, I loved horror and horror movies, and so I kind of ended up in the perfect career, right?
Absolutely. Any horror fans out there? You're in good company. All right. Phoenix from Alhambra, not Alhambra, from Phoenix, says, what is the funniest thing that ever happened while you were performing here?
The funniest thing?
Anything happened that was crazy or funny? I can't, other than the chaps.
I remember one thing that happened. It wasn't that funny, but I don't know if you were doing that show, and if you were, I'm suing you. But anyway, we had these boots like these that laced up that we were dancing in, and I was running this way, like dancing, going that way, and the female dancers were coming this way. And my laces caught around the grommets of the dancer going that way, and she and I both just went, boom, face first into the stage. And wasn't so funny, I cut my eyebrow open and had blood running down, but I got up and I kept singing. I was going like, I just fell down and I have blood running on my like that. And everybody thought it was planned. Everybody goes, that was so funny. And I mean, I went up the stage, I was sobbing and crying, and we had to get the paramedics and stitches but I guess it was funny because everybody thought it was hilarious. Yeah, it was kind of funny at the time, but not right after.
That's the old adage. It's only funny until someone gets hurt. Then it's hilarious. Okay. Omari from Huntington Beach says, what was one vision you always had for the show but never got to do? Is there anything in that?
What?
Something that you wanted to do in the show that it just never happened?
Oh, well, never. We did a lot of things we wanted to do.
We did a lot. I mean, one thing, at least the years I directed, we talked about flying you, have your entrance.
That's true. I did want to fly in. I wanted to do the Cher and the Beyonce thing, and it didn't really work out for us. So no flying, and I'm kind of happy that didn't happen. You see what happened to some of those people, like Anne Margaret, what's too of a reference for this crowd. But yeah, we never got to do that.
Flown, but we did fly a few guys across the stage, dressed as you, though.
Yes.
We did fly some dancers, and some of them were guys.
Better than me. Yeah, I like it.
It was an illusion.
That would have been a cool thing that, I don't know, just we never...
Let the stunt person fly, and then you pop out like it was you.
Yeah, awesome.
You get full credit for it.
Oh, yeah, awesome. One of my favorite things, I just want to mention one of the favorite things I did, we had one time one of the boy dancers who was an acrobat, and he could do flips. I ran off the side, and he was dressed as Elvira, and then he did back flips all the way across the stage, with an Elvira wig on and the dress, and it was so hilarious. And then I came out like, that was hard, But it was one of the guys in this costume, and I mean, that still cracks me up. I thought that was one of the funniest things we ever did.
Yeah, that was great. I remember that. Absolutely.
You landed it. You came out and went,
Yeah, I did. I came out of the curtain like I just finished it, and everybody said, oh, she's fabulous.
All right. Lupe.
If there's a question that says, are they real, just skip that one.
You got it.
I don't know what that means.
All right. Miranda says, it's not a question, but I love and adore you so much that I named my cat after you.
Oh, I love that. I love cute cats. So that's a very big compliment. Thank you. Dogs, cats, you can name anything after me.
Lupe from Gardena says, do you get a chance to go on your favorite rides here at Knott's?
What's your favorite ride here at Knott's, everybody?
Elvira.
Oh, yeah, awesome. Thank you.
and how tall do you have to be to ride the ride? How tall do you have to be to ride the ride? That was
You have to be at least this
Very
tall. Second only to the chicken ride.
Chicken ride. All right. Otto from Los Angeles says, would you let them use a hologram for a future show of you?
I would, damn it. I love the whole idea of a hologram. Yes, Jim, start working on that now. I could just work forever till I'm 93, 5 or whatever, and look awesome. So yes, I'm all about holograms. I'm all over it.
What the heck? Hey, I'm Missy. All right.
Someone's over there on the chicken ride, it sounds like.
Helen from Pasadena says, who was your favorite celebrity that was in the audience of your show?
Oh, my favorite celebrity. I'll tell you who my least favorite, but no, I won't tell you. I'll have people PO. No, I'll tell you who my favorite was. Well, of course, Pee-wee, Paul Rubens came every year. Paul and I were like very, very, very close friends for so many years. So him always coming out I don't think he missed a year, did he? He came to every show, and he brought my good friend Jack White, who I freaking love, from the White Stripes. I don't know if you know. And so they would come very often. Cher came one time.
Wow.
That was pretty freaking awesome. I almost fainted. And RuPaul. Yeah. And I shouldn't have mentioned the bad one.
Oh, who's the bad one?
Tell us.
Are they Are they still with us?
What does it rhyme with?
It rhymes with Periana Nande.
Does anyone help the host out? I don't know what oh, yeah, we didn't have any donuts for her back
I'll tell you briefly while she remembers. Okay. She came and she brought 20 guests. So she wanted 21 tickets. We're like, okay. And we give her the tickets and she comes backstage and she asked if I could take pictures with all of her friends and relatives she brought. I take a picture with every single one of them. I sign autographs for every single one of them. Then I say to her, could we take a photo together? And she goes, no, I don't really do that. Come on, okay? And then she left before my show started. All her relatives stayed. All her relatives stayed. And she took off. Okay? Right?
All true.
Just saying.
It's all true.
She's playing the wrong witch. I was the guy that worked the door for years. So we had Fred Schneider from the B-52s, Dita Von Teese, Marilyn Manson, Rob Zombie, all kinds of people coming back here. Really nice. All of them so nice.
I know. We all had a great time. Everybody was fantastic. It was so fun.
All right.
I started a fair around here, wasn't it? It's pretty cool.
This is the best show ever. All right. Scott from Lake Forest asks, did Vinny Gonk belong to you or someone else, or someone close to you? Gonk was the perfect sidekick. Love you, Cassandra.
Vinny, Vinny, well, I call him Vinny now. Vinny was the real name of Gonk. There were 3 Gonks to play the part. Each one had their own special set of tricks that they did. But obviously, he's gone to heaven many, many years ago, or he'd be 189,000 years in dog years right now. But I don't know if you guys have seen my little dog, Vinny, named after Vincent Price, who bears a striking resemblance to Gonk. He has a little pink mohawk and little black ears, and he's adorable. He does his... Huh? Oh, right, we had a video with Vinny. That's right, I forgot. Very talented dog.
And Gonk Vinny was the same dog in Silence of the Lambs. Silence of the Lambs, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's the same dog, right? Did you guys know that? Yeah. Very talented actor. All right. Last question. Here we go. Crystal from LA says, how does it feel to have lifelong fans? And why do you think you have such dedicated fans?
You know, it is amazing out here at Knott's, in particular, honestly. I have seen fans grow up from little tiny kids in the audience to adults with kids and grandparents. And tonight, I must have had, 100 people come through who said, I saw every one of your shows when I was a little kid. Now I'm bringing my kids. Now they're bringing their kids. And I've just seen, it's amazing, just generation after generation of families come out to Knott's and that I have seen before my eyes, grow up. In fact, my social media person, who is a wonderful social media guy, Christian Grenia, I met him out here when his mommy brought him backstage to meet me when he was a little guy, and now he's working for me. He's like, 46, yeah, they snuck in. That's right. And
I caught him, and I knew him from other places, and he snuck in, and I'm like, what are you doing back here? And he's like, well, you dared me. And I'm like, I did. I'm like, okay. So.
Yeah, and now he works for me like 45 years later, still working, doing my social media. So it's crazy, just families. And I have a couple of fans out here, Crystal and Patty, and their cousin Richie started out as my biggest fan, and he was I knew him for forever from here, and he would bring all his relatives, and they would sit in the front row for every show, and But through this weird thing, I had this question I asked them about. I asked the audience something, and the audience would yell, "Who?" And Crystal and Patty and Richie would start yelling "Who" all the time, so I started calling them the Owl Club. And so they became my little group of fans. And Richie sadly passed away really, really young. It was devastating. But I'm still very close to his family. They still come out here. I know them all really well, and I mean, it's just I feel really close to so many of the fans out here, and I saw so many of you guys tonight, and I'm sure you're probably out there somewhere in the audience. But I love it when you show up, and I don't always remember everybody's name because I can't really remember my own name half the time, but I certainly remember you. So. We love you!
All right, well, let's thank Jeff Shattuck, Tom Benucci, Michelle Kapp, Jim Coots. I'm Jeff Tucker, and please, ladies and gentlemen, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, Cassandra Peterson.
Thank you. I miss you guys. You guys so much, I can't tell you. Mwah.